Hello and welcome to this special broadcast. Now, no one can deny the fact that thousands of trees have disappeared from the city in the recent years, some legally under the tag of development and some illegally for profit. Today, we will tell you one such reason as to why trees in the city are being cut illegally overnight.
It looks like chopping trees illegally has become a trend in the city. Most green parts of the city are vanishing rapidly for reasons unknown. One such example is on the old airport road. Once considered one of the greenest zones of the city, it is now losing its tag of the green belt thanks to rapid tree cutting in the name of development. A regular visitor to this place just cannot ignore the change that this road has undergone after trees vanished overnight. Who is doing it? Why is it being done? There are a lot of questions, but no one to answer them. Residents of this area have seen 17 trees disappear last year, and in the last 3 days, 4 trees have been chopped. All of this is done illegally, as tree cutting is done at night when there is no one to question or to stop them.
We don't have any proper proof about this because it is happening at the night time. BBMP also cannot give permission to cut any tree at the night time. Even if someone has permission, they have to come in the morning and cut the tree. But these trees are being cut at the night time. Recently, last year, around 17 trees have been cut. Right now here, within previous 3 days, 4 trees have been cut here.
Residents of the area have come together and formed a group named Save Green so that they can raise the issue of illegal tree cutting. Despite approaching the authorities repeatedly, they have hardly received any response.
So when we went to ask to BBMP Forest Department, they are not giving reason. We already sent lots of letter to them. So till today, we didn't got any solution for that one. If we ask to BBMP people, they will tell MLA done something. Some reason they are giving, we didn't got till today any solution. So we come to know previous year also 17 trees continuously they cutted, they chopped. So we are not getting any solution from BBMP also and MLA also, nothing we are getting.
Residents allege that the illegal tree cutting is done by advertisement agencies who own the hoardings on the road. However, there is no evidence about this claim. One thing that has been noticed at this spot though is that only those trees or their branches which cover the hoardings have been cut. After noticing trees being cut, these residents decided to take a video of the trees on this stretch to document the evidence of the actual size and shape of the trees. To their surprise, branches of many trees were chopped just a week after the video was taken by the residents. President of Save Green, Hemant, said that the ad agencies inspect the trees and if they find any tree covering their hoarding, they chop it down overnight.
Advertising department, they will send to capture video whether is visibility coming or not. If it's not coming, then their advertising agency will decide whether tree has to chopped or not, because if visibility will not come there, they will not get their business.
It was also found that many hoardings did not have a license number mentioned on them. The residents also filed an RTI to learn about the number of legal hoardings in the area. When they received the reply to their RTI query, they found that numbers mentioned on some of the hoardings were in the list. However, what came as a surprise was that the license numbers mentioned on a few hoardings were out of the list. They brought this to the notice of the authorities but received no response. Apart from this, what was more shocking was that 2 trees which were strong and healthy vanished overnight. Today, one can only see the stem of those trees on the footpath. Residents say that the branches of these trees were chopped initially and chemicals were later injected into the tree, after which it was cut overnight. To prove the existence of the trees, the residents had taken photographs of them before they were cut down.
ಮೊದಲಿತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಮರ ದೊಡ್ಡದೇ ಇತ್ತು, ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವರು ಬ್ಯಾನರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಡ್ಡ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಚಿಕ್ಕದೆಲ್ಲ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೈಟ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದು ಡ್ರೈ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರು ನೈಟಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಫಿನಿಷ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ಅವರು.
When News 9 spoke to the Assistant Conservator of Forests, Satyanarayana, about the illegal tree cutting, he said that he would take action against the people responsible. He also said that lack of manpower in the BBMP Forest Wing has delayed action.
We are going to file a complaint against. Now we are getting the information for whether the boards are legal or illegal. So on the basis of that, if it is illegal, then we will book against the cutting of tree. If it is illegal, we will book the case against both illegal board hoarding and as well as for tree cutting.
But what has come to our notice is even last time 17 trees were cut and no action was taken against the people who have done it.
No, some of the FIRs I think already filed. I should verify. Yeah.
So if we come to your office, can you help? Can you give us the proof of this FIR and everything? Can you just show us if we come to your office now?
Yeah, right now I am not in office. I will inquire with my subordinate. Actually, that will be done by our range forest officers. Field officers will be there. For every zone, the separate field officers will be there.
Exactly.
And they will take care of all those things. I had instructed them now to book the case. I should inquire them.
A resident is coming to you and complaining it, and then you are taking action. So what are these authorities doing?
Chaitanya, you see, the BBMP, we are very few, say about 7 members.
Okay.
And we are taking care of planting, tree canopy management, and this TMC, that the traffic management, this one is there. There, every day they are putting one member for this one. And lot of this one problems are there. All of a sudden we cannot take in all this one, take of this one as in regular. So that type of handicap is there. Because of that, all of a sudden we cannot respond for those things. But definitely we will take action over that.
So you mean to say that because there is no enough manpower, that is the problem, which is because of which this is happening?
Yes, 101%. We don't have manpower at all.
According to Satyanarayana, action was taken by the wing officer, who in this case was Timmappa. When we asked Timmappa about what had been done, his answer was surprising.
ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೇ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು 17 ಟ್ರೀಸ್ 17 ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಗಿಡಗಳು. ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಇದೇ ಸೇಮ್ ರೋಡ್. ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್? ಓಕೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಸಲ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್? ಮತ್ತೆ ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್, ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ 1 ವಾರ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಯಾರು ನೋಡಕ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ.
ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇರೋರು ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ. ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ KR-ಪುರಂ, ಮಹದೇವಪುರ, ಕೋನೆನಗರ, ಇದು ಇಂದಿರಾನಗರ, ಶ್ರೀರಾಮನಗರ, ಹೆಬ್ಬಾಳ, ಸರ್ವಜನ ನಗರ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪುಲಕೇಶಿ ನಗರ, 6 MLA ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂನ್ಸಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬರ್ತೀವಿ.
Whatever the reasons for trees being cut, the fact that it is being done illegally cannot be denied. And if the authorities cannot take action against the culprits due to lack of manpower, as they say, then who will take the responsibility of saving Bengaluru's greenery? Chaitanya Mangure for News 9, Bengaluru.
Well, that's the question we're asking today. Can the incessant and illegal cutting of trees in our city be allowed to carry on? Have any trees in your locality been chopped down illegally? You can share your views with us. You can call us on 08022360302 or even 03. You can also WhatsApp your opinion on 998094513. The question that we're asking, of course, is for the visibility of the advertisements put up on the road, are the trees being chopped? Now, if you go by the story that we've just presented to you, in these areas, it is happening and it is real. Now, to talk about this, we have several people joining us in our studios today. Starting off, we have BRV Prasanna. He's from the Kriya Kate organization and also an RTI activist. Thank you for joining us. We also have Mr. Vijay Nishant. He's an urban conservationist. Thank you for joining us, Nishant. We also have Hemant. He's the president of Save Green. We also have Ashwini. She's a resident of the area and also the vice president of Save Green. We also have another resident here, Srikanth. He's also from Save Green as well. And also Chaitanya Mangure, who's been tracking this case closely and bringing us all the updates from day one on this particular matter. Now, Chaitanya, first coming to you before I come to the residents here. What were the findings on the ground? Because you went there. What we are getting to see is most of the time people would notice some of the branches being cut. But for a common man who's not probably being very observant, for a resident, what they would assume is probably the branch was old or it was falling onto the road, and probably safety reasons or probably an hazard to the residents, and that's the reason they would have cut it. Nobody is worried unless an entire tree is cut. Only when a branch is cut, nobody picks it up. But as now you pointed out, in certain areas it is being done intentionally because probably it's covering up an advertisement hoarding. What were the findings on the ground level?
The first thing what I noticed when we reached the location was there was a huge hoarding of some brand, and then there was a tree just besides it. But by looking at it, I couldn't notice that the tree was cut. Unless and until these people brought it to my notice, they showed me the earlier pictures of how the tree was. Not very old, maybe a week ago, a picture which they had taken a week ago. And then when we saw that, it could be seen that half of the tree was trimmed in such a manner that the entire hoarding was visible from the main road. That was one case.
Well, in fact, let's put those visuals up on a full screen where we can clearly take a look at what's exactly happening. There you see, these were images taken by the residents. You were talking about this, isn't it, Chaitanya?
Exactly.
This was a week before?
A week before, yeah.
So what were the findings after?
What we saw was that branches of the tree were trimmed in such a way that the banners are visible straight from the road. And the second thing was they didn't even bother to clear the branches that they had cut. The branches were just thrown by the roadside. What we also managed to videograph, and then after that, when we started taking a walk on the entire stretch, we found that it was not the only tree, but there were many such trees which were chopped or which were trimmed just because there was not a clear visibility from the road towards the hoardings. And then we also came across two trees which, if these people would have not told me that these are trees, I would have never understood that these are trees, because the trees were literally, they have vanished. They have been taken off in such a way. Then I got to know from the residents over there that chemicals were injected in those trees because they were a hurdle to the visibility for the hoardings that are displayed over there. So chemicals were injected, and overnight the tree was completely chopped off. We can only see maybe a 4-inch of stem of that tree.
You can clearly see the left side of the tree which is facing the road. You can see the branches, but one which is facing the advertisement board, which will cover the advertisement, is being cut.
Exactly.
Now coming to some of the residents here, who all live in this area, if you all the three of you are part of this area, if you could tell us what happens here and what happened in this particular instance in particular.
See, every year they will come at midnight. They will send 4 or 5 laborers there. They will night 2 or 3 o'clock. There are 2 times they called their residential area. They called to Bhimanagar police station also. They are cutting illegal tree. Police also visit there. Few people they catch, they took in station, and remaining people they ran from spot.
Okay.
So they took in station. Don't know what matter happened there. So next day also we after get this news. So we visit their Bhimanagar police station. They said we will not take this complaint. This come under BBMP forest. So already we know about this. But police said if on spot, if anyone cut tree, you call us, we will take action on spot. Now we want to know that midnight police came there, why they didn't arrest or they didn't took any action? Why they left there? That workers.
So they saw them cutting the trees. Were these BBMP workers?
And there, what happened? There are residential people. Some people night time auto cab service were they do drive night time. They stop vehicles there. They ask why you are cutting tree. Police people were abusing what they use to public.
Okay.
So that's why they.
Who are these people? Were they BBMP workers who were there who were cutting these trees?
Sent
or
by
private contractors?
banners. Hoardings they sent.
By the advertisers, or the ones who run that particular hoarding.
Yeah, because if advertising will not visible, bill will not pass from client side.
So that's the reason each and every time if there's a new branch that comes up and there's a new advertisement that comes up, they have to chop it down. That's what you're saying. What are the other observations you made, Nishan?
Initially, see, I got a website called ruksha.com where I have digitalized all the trees of Ajaynagar. This is a similar case which is had. Because I know like there is a 10 meter of a tree and it has been chopped. There is no single leaf in it.
Now, firstly, let's tell our viewers, when is the necessity to chop a tree? Because you would understand it's your field of expertise. When does it become necessary to chop a branch because it may fall onto the road? Because that's also a problem. A lot of vehicles could be damaged. People could be put at inconvenience.
Yes,
so when do you actually chop it?
See, that is what, before doing that one, you should have an assessment data. Because last year, like a 120 tree has been fallen, which entire thing is as exotic species.
Yeah.
See, in that kind of a situation, like you say, we have to chop the trim it, whatever you have to do it. But the trimming job, and again, is done by a BWSSB. You would have seen and everything. But in this case, clearly we can see the evidence like properly. And if you say like Kaveri, the Kaveri Theatre Road, there is also this kind of a thing is happening. Jainagar is also the 2 hoardings. This kind is happening where a Meliodubia tree is there. You can clearly visible, but they keep chopping and it is keep coming. This is a regular thing, and these people have the evidence. So it clearly shows that something is very bad. It's happening to the tree and everything.
Okay.
So everything is not right.
How much does it affect the tree? Because when you chop off the entire tree, of course, it's a bigger issue than chopping off a branch, and that's the reason they get away probably much easier. How much does it affect the tree overall and its growth, and also its abilities to provide to the environment? How much does it affect it?
It's completely it's out of a reason. When there is no leaves, the respiratory system, you're killing it automatically, and automatically the dust won't sit in it. And tree also, if keep cutting, you have seen its growth will be shunted. So it's like keeping only a stump. There is no use, nothing, and that's what even they inject the chemicals and all. So you have seen it. The purpose is not served, even though it is a public property. It is a tree. The purpose is not served, and this has to be really stopped. There is no go for it.
Now, where all have you made appeals? If I could come to you.
Actually, I have followed meticulously with the BBMP for Forest Department. I have given several complaint letters to DGP, the police department, and also to the Malleshwaram Aranya Bhavan department, and in turn they forwarded the same to BBMP Forest Department.
What has happened after the complaints?
Yeah, what actually I have taken information under RTA Act.
Okay.
So the concerned officer ACF himself has given an endorsement stating that there is no permission taken, there is no measure done, there is no photographs taken, and the basic formalities which needs to be done. That is not being
chop down these branches.
To chop down the entire tree, well-developed tree.
So a few of the trees as well have been chopped off,
Entire
not just the branches.
The entire tree will be chopped off.
This is not done by the BBMP. Also, you're saying.
BBMP, they colluded with law violators.
Of course. Now, while the forest department is aware that so many trees are there, this is the size of the tree, the next day they would very well know. But the bigger problem is the monitoring system, isn't it? How many BBMP officials are there to monitor the trees? Do you have any data of the exact number of officers who are allotted to the number of trees or the areas?
See, for every 3 kilometer or something, there has to be one tree officer or something.
There has to be.
There has to be a tree warden or something, but it's not clearly in your report only said 7 people. And this is keep happening from a 4 or 10 years from whenever you ask, that is the maximum reason they give it, that we don't have a manpower, they slip in, they given a slip in. So that is not only corrected. So what is happening sometimes, even when a rainy days and something is happening, a lot of trees will be fallen, and there will be no clearance for 3-4 days. And we don't have a data in a Bangalore kind of a city. We should have the first job of urban conservation is to have a data. They don't have that minimum data only. So it clearly shows it's only it's giving a slip to the whatever we are doing it. So we have to have a minimum data, and 7 people is nothing for a 50 lakh tree. Is it possible to check?
7 lakh people, is it across the city?
No. So 7 people are in a BBMP, but 50 lakh tree is existing in a Bangalore. Can you check? Can you imagine that 7 people can helter-skelter, they can run around? So that is logic only is wrong. So obviously the hoarding people and the who are wanted to take advantage, they take complete advantage. To give a slip, even the BBMP authorities also will be taking this kind of advantages. So it's a good that we are bringing into the public domain. It's very important. From here onwards, we have to look into the things, how it has to be taken.
Now, as residents, if I could come to you, Ashwini, what have you found different in your area with regard to the trees alone? Now, they all did mention that some of the trees were chopped off. Some of them mentioned the branches have been chopped off. You're a resident there. Have you noticed the change, and how often does it happen?
See, previous week, that means only 10 days before, we took a video and captured photo, everything. So we know that one, because previous year 17 trees has been chopped.
Trees have been chopped, or you're talking about the branches here being chopped?
It's a totally off.
The top, all the branches have been chopped off. So just the bark of the tree is left?
Trunk.
So
The
like
trunk.
that. So like that. So this year this one happened, and we have a doubt that one within a 10 days another trees which you are showing that one, so that also can happen, because every year it's happening.
Now you're all from Save Green as well. You run a foundation to save the environment, to save such trees. What have you done from your end to ensure that the BBMP comes and regulates this? What have you done, if I could come to you?
We have filed complaints. A day before yesterday, we approached the Jeevan Bhima Nagar police station. They asked us to file a complaint in the BBMP forest cell. We have done that from our side. Yesterday, we called Mr. Satyanarayana sir and Mr. Timmappa. They said they will come to the site.
Mr.
and
Satyanarayana is the
ACF.
Okay.
They said they will come to the site and inspect it today.
We'll in fact try and call him as well during the show. We'll try and get a reaction from Mr. Satyanarayana here. And yes, you said you also spoke to Mr. Timmappa as well here.
Yes.
What was the response from these people?
And I mean, there is one guy called Ranganath Swami. He is the ACF for South Zone, I guess. South Zone. I've been following up with these issues since maybe 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
He doesn't take any action. Actually, he has appointed a Lokayukta advocate to argue on behalf of him in the RTI court. That's in KAC.
Well, the thing is, the officials are not serious about this matter. Somewhere do you feel, because as he said, 7 people monitoring 50 lakh trees in the city. Is that a comparison?
It's illogical. See, it cannot happen, and that is only going wrong. Yeah. So what is the next phase? See, Bangalore, I don't know any other city in the world, Bangalore is made out of trees. Correct. Because the tree was here and the weather was here, everybody got into here.
That's why it was called the pensioners' paradise, and now
paradise
it's not.
And a green city and a garden city. And the maximum you're like milking from the whatever the things and everything, and now you're beating to the bush to the when it comes to the solution and conserving the tree. And I don't think any city in the world has a green city name. We have the tag and we are taking for granted. And we are giving us 7 people and people are not asking. Whatever the garbage happened, no, we are sitting on it. Same thing will happen with the tree also. One day we'll lose all the trees in the name of a development, in the name of the materializing, in the name of urbanization. Then we will make a noise and we will sit together, because every tree to grow, it will take a 60
and
or 25
even now there
years.
are several opportunities and there are several schemes, there are several policies coming up where you have to plant a tree, but it takes about 10 years
yes,
before
that's
a tree
what I'm telling. And sometimes the silly reason they give it is when the tree is chopped.
I mean, in fact, we have the ACF here, Mr. Satyanarayana here connected.
Hello.
Well, sir, Namaskar, we are speaking here from News 9.
Yes, sir.
Here you are speaking live, in fact, here, sir. If you could tell us at this point, we have a bunch of residents here from Jeevan Bhima Nagar who are complaining that several trees in the area have been cut. Several trees have been cut because there needed to be visibility for advertisements. Are you aware of this?
Sir, this address, which one, sir?
Mr. Satyanarayana, can
no,
you hear?
sir, wrong number.
He's not Satyanarayana.
Hello?
He's not Satyanarayana.
Well, in fact, we'll try and connect him again there. Yeah, coming back to what we were saying it's illogical to probably chop down your trees and then even have policies to plant new ones, because it's going to take a whole lot of time before a plant grows into a tree.
Yeah, basically what has happened, public objections have to be called from the public. There should be a notification put up on the BBMP website, or maybe in majority of the major newspapers. Based on the public objections, then they have to decide whether a tree has to be trimmed or whether the entire tree has to be chopped off or whatever it is, as per the rules. They don't follow any of the rules. This is a basic thing, and FIR has to be filed. Only when the FIR has been filed, then the inquiry conducted will reveal all these illegal issues, which they don't do.
You filed an RTI. What were the findings of the various RTIs that you filed, especially with regard to the chopping of trees here?
One well-developed tree was chopped off illegally to assist the illegal traders. Regarding this advertisement mafia and other.
Does the BBMP, the forest cell, does it keep a track of the number of trees in area? How do they do it? Do they have a methodical system here?
They don't care.
No. See, there is no data is existing.
Okay.
That is only a big issue. See, as I told you.
Now, when you consider, say, Shantinagar or a Richmond Circle or a Indira Nagar, do they have in this particular radius, in this constituency, the number
data,
of trees?
such kind of a data exists, and every year, whatever the number they are giving, if that would have that is the trees they would have planted, Bangalore would have been in a forest. So that is a clear cut. And the worst problem is we are losing for this kind of a silly reasons we are losing, for a development we are losing. So a lot of things and this has become a mess for us. And today, you know, for advertisement sake and everything, you keep checking in every area. Now there will be 10 or 20 hoardings will be there. If every hoarding is coming, every time the two will be losing, what is the answer for them? They won't replace it also. And this has become not as Sir told, it's like a 4 or 5 years ago. I'm seeing this from a kid. And this has become a huge menace. And really, we wanted to refer this one as overall in aggressive mode. This here onwards, it cannot be happen, these kind of things.
Absolutely, especially when you're making it convenient for the ones who are already making money.
Yes.
And you're helping them destroy trees.
Exactly.
And some of them probably even put up banners there to save trees and such advertisements, and then they'll end up chopping. What's the point? Yeah. Chaitanya, coming to you spoke to the ACF. We, of course, are trying to contact him as of now. A lot of calls are being disconnected. Coming to you, when you spoke to him, what are the questions you asked him? What did he say regarding this issue?
I first asked him about...
this is the ACF Satyanarayana that you spoke?
Exactly. And was he aware about the illegal tree cutting going on over in that particular stretch?
Okay.
What he said was that he had not visited this spot. It was after the residents went to him, he got to know about it. And then what he said is, he will visit the spot or he will ask someone to inspect it. And if he finds that the hoardings are legal, then he will book a case against the hoarding owners about...
If they're illegal.
If the hoardings are legal,
okay,
he will book a case. If the trees are cut for an legal hoarding, he will book a case of illegal tree cutting.
Okay.
And if the hoarding is illegal, he will book both the cases, including illegal tree cutting as well as illegal hoarding.
Okay.
But when I asked him what action has been taken against the 17 trees that were cut last year, in spite of despite of the residents giving him repeated complaints, what he said is the range officer for that particular area was informed about it, and first he said that FIRs have been filed. When I asked him if I can get a proof of those FIRs if I visit his office, he said that I'm not in the office and the FIRs were filed by the range officers. Now when I tried to contact the range officer and asked him whether he was aware about these 17 trees and what action has been taken, his answer was simple: I don't know any 17 trees that have been cut. I don't know what action you're talking of.
Well, the visuals are right there. It is about a week back, and we shot the visuals yesterday, and you can see the trees are chopped off. Now, do you feel that the disparity here is the workers on the ground level? You can't expect an ACF probably to walk into every road, count the number of trees and what's happening. It's the ground staff which needs to communicate this and not the residents.
Exactly.
You think that's where the failure
That was my question. That was my question to Mr. Satyanarayana as well. I asked him, are you waiting for the residents to come up with every complaint and then you are going to do it? Because what I got to know was Satyanarayana was asking the residents to gather a data about the illegal and legal holdings in that area.
Come to the residents for that. What was the exact request that he made to you? Quite bizarre that he's asking the residents to do the job that the BBMP has
when
to
they
do.
get paid.
What did you have to say? Did you approach him from the residents' side? Did you approach the ACF or anybody from the forest side?
Last year we called their BBMP forest. We forced them to come this area and check how many trees quantity has
Which
chopped.
are the areas that you're all talking about at this point?
Old Airport Road, continue they chopped.
The entire Old Airport Road that you're talking about, okay.
From Murgeshpalya to HAL.
Okay.
It's commercial.
Yeah. So, and what was the response? What was the response?
Almost all like commercial, this one, no? Kormangla, anywhere you take it,
So
it is there.
Main road only because
It's
of
because they want it visible.
Advertisement,
And
they
see,
fully chop.
how can they caricature our city?
Yeah.
You throw them all the hoardings, no? You ban them. It's a better you ban
That
them.
we don't have any rights to do that one. Right?
You want to make a point?
We went to advertising department as well to give a complaint. They said we never give permission to chop tree or any trimming anything. You have to contact to BBMP forest. They blame to each other.
Everywhere we...
This is within the BBMP once again. This is how the BWSSM and the BBMP work, but this is two bodies within the BBMP as well, comes under the BBMP, and they still are at loggerheads and they blame each other.
Yes.
You were talking about certain files that you've got with you. These are pertaining to what?
This is our last year complaint as well, latest complaint.
So till today we didn't got any solution from them, and we
If
didn't
you could
got
hold
any-
it up straight, if you could hold it up for our camera straight, the complaints, these were complaints made last year because of the tree cutting, is it?
Yes, sir.
Now, have those trees lived from last year?
So
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
growing very nicely, they chopped.
Okay.
Now again it start to grow. Again definitely they will chop again.
So it's a continuous process
And
that's happening.
two
They
trees
have
was
a particular
very-
pattern
to chop the trees. Every year they come thrice. They have a check over the trees if the visibility is there or not. Then they, if the visibility is less of the advertisement hoarding, then they come overnight. They chop the tree. They chop and they trim it in such a way that the advertisement hoarding is visible.
So this is all happening for a basic cause. This is for ad visibility.
Exactly.
You're trying.
Basically, the law enforcing authorities collude with the law violence. As simple as that.
Right. If you could pull up those documents and show it to our cameras. Now these, and if you can explain what each of these complaints mean.
Hold it.
You can hold it up. Hold it up. The cameras will capture that. What are these complaints? If you could talk to us about it.
It's the latest.
Yeah. If you could, in fact, show us. If the cameras could, in fact, zoom in on one of these complaints. What is this complaint all about? If you could talk, speak about it, Mr. Hemant.
Keep telling.
What is it? What does the complaint say?
See, actually in this we written that one illegally cutting trees about advertisement boardings.
Okay.
So we mentioned that one this year they chopped more than 4 trees. So we written a letter to them. So but we didn't got any solution. That person is giving excuse.
They just gave an acknowledgement that they have received the letter.
They
but
received the letter.
There's no any action.
Okay. Now, after this, there's no reply to any of these
They say
letters?
all old complaints are with us only.
We didn't got till today any
Till today
result
no
from
response.
them.
BBMP commissioner, everyone we approach. We given CC copy we keep.
We'll in fact now also will request our director to connect even the BBMP commissioner. We'll try and get hold of him because he's in charge of even the forest cell. We'll try and get a reaction as to why there are no replies coming in from the BBMP's end as well. We'll be trying to connect him in a short while. The ACF is not replying. Chaitanya, you wanted to make a point there.
The point what I wanted to make is when we saw a few hoardings, according to me and according to my knowledge, what the rule says is that if you display a hoarding, it should have a license number displayed on it as well. But then when we saw there, most of the hoardings did not have a license number. We found some hoardings with license number, and these residents have filed an RTI and they have got a list of the hoardings which are legal and illegal. And it was found that some numbers did not even appear in the list.
Now, the latest we are getting is that some of the officials in the forest department are not willing to respond on air. They do not want to speak to us on our channel. But what they have assured at this point, we've in fact had this program now for the last half an hour or so, and they've already assured that the residents can go to the area and he will be arriving there in the next 1 hour. He is assured that he will be there, he will address the issues, but he is not willing to speak, probably because he knows at this point they do not have a defense. Hopefully from now this sets a standard, it changes the course of things. But again, coming back to the issues, let's in fact highlight all the issues so that each and every official who is watching this program knows what's happening at the ground level. Coming back to you, apart from the advertisement and apart from the chopping of the branches, what else is happening here in these areas and the others that you notice?
It's not only this one. For a parking, they're chopping a tree. The leaves are falling. That's also they're chopping a tree. And you won't believe parking also. You know, parking problem is four-wheeler parking. They're chopping. Another thing is they're giving a permission to the apartments, which is like very small. In there also tree has been chopped. So the overall we have to have a data of first what is the tree we have it. As a from a BBMP forest cell, they should have a initially data. Until unless you don't have this data, we will not get the reference. See, now sir has told 4 years. These people are fighting for 1 year. How consistent we will be? See, it's their job. We have to do it. So initially, the job has to be. We have to refer that. We have to have a census. Then we have to have the number. That's how much it has to be. Every ward, every tree, how many officers it has to be there. That has to be decided by a BBMP commissioner. He have to take action and you have to make it sure, you have to ensure not for any other city, for a Bangalore, you have to ensure that this, whatever the forest cell, it has to be intact. We have to have this, both if you two get it, half the problem will be solved. Then as a vigilant, as a citizen, we can come together and we will help it. To monitor, to conserve, to even look into the trees also. And that is a holistic solution. Otherwise, in any way, we will be keep talking, we will be keep doing this one, and you have to break our heads.
Right, Vijay, you wanted to make a point?
No authority has, no one has the authority to give permission to cut a tree. If either it's in the private property or in the public land, they have no authority to give the permission to cut a tree unless it is causing some problem to the residents over there or the public.
Or it's a danger. It's a
danger to the electrical
Now, this is an appeal to all the people out there watching this show that if you notice anybody chopping the tree, go question them. Go question them as to who are they, who sent them there, is it authorized, and the reasons.
And please ask them the permission letters.
And
please.
also, is there a number, a hotline number that the forest cell runs that they could call? Like, where do the people really go? Is there a number that while you try to approach, where have you tried to approach?
It's a regular like a BBMP helpline number. It is there.
What's the number, if you could read it out for the people so that anybody knows? Read it out to the people, the numbers, if you could tell them, so that they know the next time you find anywhere a tree being chopped, if a branch is being cut off or anything pertaining to a tree, you can call these numbers.
It's ACF for Forest Department, Satyanarayana. So number is 9480683146.
Could you repeat that? Could you repeat that for our viewers?
That's for East Zone.
Subdivision 1.
That's for the East Zone.
Division 1.
9480683146.
Officer's name.
So ACF for East Zone, Ranganath Swami. So 9480683842.
So these are the numbers. You can also find these numbers on the BBMP website, on their forest department page as well. You can find these numbers. So the next time, be very careful, be very cautious whenever a tree is being cut. Be a resident who cares about the environment, who cares about your area and the trees in it. Go out there and ask the questions to the people who are doing it. Prasanna, coming back to you, you wanted to make a point.
Yeah, actually there is an High Court order that requires authorities to hold a public hearing before cutting any trees.
Yeah.
They do it
seeking an opinion of the residents there,
yes,
and only after the approval do they go ahead.
Yes. As part of the complaint, I attached these High Court orders also, and also brought it to the notice regarding the public notification which can be found on the BBMP website. The objections has to be called from the public. Then only based on that they have to decide regarding the trimming of the trees or chopping of the entire block of tree. That depends on case to case basis, which they are not at all doing. Basically that's the issue. They are not at all following their own rules. They are not complying with the High Court orders also.
Now we've spoken till now about the problems. Let's now conclude this program probably with the solutions that we can have. Let's come to you, Chaitanya. Initially, you've been there, you've seen the problems firsthand about what was happening here and how probably people have been dealing with it. Where do you think the solution to this lies?
The first thing, the solution would be in increasing the manpower of BBMP. That is the first thing which should happen, in fact, which is not happening. Because if only 7 people are taking care of all the trees, then it is not possible that every person will visit and take keep a tab of every tree. That is one thing. Then after that, residents, when they come up and when they complain, if they are doing the responsibilities of these people, if they are taking up the responsibility, they are going up to the higher authorities and complaining about it, they should come down to the spot, inspect what is happening, and then they should take an immediate action instead of saying that, okay, we will do it according to our convenience, according to our time. That will never happen. And third thing is, when these people are filing RTIs, they should be responsible enough to reply it, which they are not doing at all.
Can I add to that?
Okay.
Yes. Basically, FIR has to be filed. When a complaint is lodged by a complainant, FIR has to be filed. Later during the inquiry stage, let B report or whatever maybe the issues, let it come out, which they are not doing. You should give similarly when you go to the local police station, they are supposed to take our complaint and give an FIR. They are supposed to give an FIR, which that's the basic stuff they are supposed to do. If they file an FIR, then we can keep track of that FIR in the court, or we can take it to the logical end.
So now, but that is too far-fetched, you think? Don't you think?
That's
for the
the
people,
basic thing.
Now just imagine a person, when there's a crime committed itself, hesitates to go to the police station, file an FIR. If you're going to expect the public, because a tree is going to be chopped, half of them are not.
Let the FIR be filed. Regarding the delay, they will be answerable in the court. Why there was a delay in taking action against the complaint lodge?
No, all that I'm saying is, for an FIR to be filed, there's a huge process that
Nothing like that.
People are not. At least for the people, for a tree, they wouldn't go to a police station.
No. See,
that is the concern.
I'm talking about the forest official, BBMP.
The forest officials, yes. The residents, of course, are not going to do it.
See, these people are for there only, to file a FIR, to look into the thing. Is it right or wrong? Sometimes there will be a misconception. Sometimes there will be pruning, which the trunks are old, the canopies might be falling or something. That they have to do it. That has to be, again, it has to be done in a very scientific way, and all that can be adjusted. But like something which is like this one, it is happening in the open. It is completely going to be like can't be eyewash. So it's really has to be taken a step in such a way that the number has to be increased, and the most important thing, let us have one tree census. Until unless we don't have a tree census, these things will be the problem. So where we can see what is the sick tree, what is a good tree, what is the pruning which is required, and what are the trees which is going to be like a planted, everything we'll get it in the this holistic. So and that will bring us automatically a one level less. So whatever the number has to be increased, and we should have a data. Because every 4 years, suppose they are supposed to do a census and they should maintain their data. If this both is done, half the problem will be solved.
So there should be a census, a data should be maintained. These are primary things that should be followed, so that you have an account of the number of trees, how they're maintained.
Exactly. Every resident has the authority, according to Karnataka Forest Conservation Act of 1976. Every resident has the authority to stop a tree cutting. Either it's legal or with permission or illegal. If they can stop the tree cutting, and they can ask if they have the permission letter from the concerned authority. Then if they don't have the permission letter, they can approach the nearest police station or the tree officer. But even if we approach the police station, people are not ready to take a complaint, and they force us to the BBMP Forest Cell. BBMP Forest Cell is not ready to come to the site and take any action. That is the whole problem.
No, you're again talking about the problem. As I mentioned, coming towards the end of the show, we're talking about the solutions. What can be done? Of course, we wanted the officials to give us the solutions. They're not responding. Most of them are unwilling to speak to us now on the phone line. But of course, he promised that he will be there. Now, so towards the end, let's now discuss the solutions. Where do you think the solution here lies?
The solution here lies from the residents. The residents have to take it as their own personal issue. Then they have to stop the tree cutting. The tree cutting which is happening in the night. They have to stop the tree cutting, and they have to ask the permission letter from the people who are cutting the trees, and they have to stop it, and they have to approach the police. This is what is the solution for this, for immediate solution.
Ms. Ashwini, what do you have to say?
The same thing, the BBMP Forest Department has to
be proactive. They have to be proactive, as simple as that.
Proactiveness, do you think that helps?
See, according to me, BBMP, every time they give excuse, they are lack of manpower. Okay, we are registered under Karnataka government organizations. Why they didn't give authorized to give a police complaint by organization side?
So, as an organization who's any organization which is looking at environment conservation, you're not allowed to go and file a complaint?
No, it's allowed. It's allowed.
They're not ready.
They are not ready to take complaint.
They are not ready to. That is a problem. See, I'm not
saying.
They don't
take up the complaint.
Take up the complaint.
Actually, we went to police station to give this about this 4 trees chopped. So they're not ready to take any action, and they said you just go to BBMP Forest Department.
No, there is a slight there is a slight confusion with the BBMP Forest Cell. The BBMP Forest Cell and the police station. It's exactly BBMP Forest Cell, particularly there for the here. It's a better if you do the process in here. Office is in a head office in a like.
If BBMP also not response, and police station also will not respond, who is the responsible?
Somebody has to, or else who's going to be the enforcement authority, or who's going to curb these activities?
Whom we reach?
Exactly. That is
we all organizations are doing so much hard work to planting trees. We are supporting to BBMP only. They are not ready to support.
Correct. Correct. Now, at this point, we've spoken about these issues as well. Are there any more issues that the Forest Department could be looking into?
See, they're looking into they're looking at the volunteers level, like volunteers. If they call for volunteers to look into the see, sometimes the miscreants happening. It is not exactly what BBMP will be doing. Few members. I have seen people roadside and the apartments, and they will be doing the miscreants. So that has to be brought into the public domain. And we have to, and the first thing we wanted to see is document whatever something is happening with the tree. All the people will be having the mobile, and please collect the evidence. It's very important to provide the evidence. Over the time, if we keep pushing this one, we'll guarantee we'll going to get the solution. And these officers who are coming, they will not going to stay for a whole of a life. It's very important as a citizen, we should maintain this data, because it's our city. It's our trees, which has to be.
If you could give, you have a lot of experience on data collection, you have a lot of experience on the pruning of trees, what needs to be done to maintain a tree, but the common man out there probably is unaware of these things. They don't know what exactly is happening. Sometimes they don't know if the tree is even cut off or if a branch has fallen off. Now, when you say collection of data, residents should be aware. What do you expect now? A person probably living in the 4th cross, he'll have 10 trees in his road. What kind of data do you expect him to have?
See, initially, we have a website. Again, I told you, have the species, which is what all the trees, name and everything we have given it. What is its a characteristic and everything. You can check that website and you can know what is the trees and everything. You can identify and you can document on your own. So at least you have a minimum data.
At least on your road.
Yes, at least if you keep doing that one.
Basically,
now see, now for yes, if you enter Bangalore now, see, because of this one, we can't put the final solution. At least we starting doing is as the association people like Indranagar Association or the RAWs are there. Why can't they document on their own, keep the data, be vigilant for a initial. Later on we can digitalize all these trees as we had digitalized Jayanagar tree where nobody had, even they are fear to put out even on single poster from 1.5 year, nobody trying to put a poster, nobody is trying to cut the chop. Even 2 tree has been chopped there, we rejuvenated the tree. We are very vigilant with our 8,000 tree, they are healthy, they were taking care of it and everything. You can come to the Jayanagar, I'll show each and every data tree in every level. That is the minimum level you have to do. See, again 7 people, it is impossible. And we have to bring that also in the foreground. So what that has to be, we have to write a letter to the commissioner.
Well, we'll come back to you, Nishan. We have Mr. Satyanarayan, the ACF, connected now. Mr. Satyanarayan, here a lot of questions are being asked about the trees being cut in your area. If you could give us more details, have you got any updates about this?
Yeah, just now we have arrived at this spot near World Airport Road opposite to the Kempfort.
Okay.
During the night they have chopped 4 trees. So 2 Gulmore and 2 Hoardings trees, and that is for especially for the hoardings. And we are verifying whether the hoardings are legal or illegal. So if they are legal, no, then we are booking case only for the cutting of trees. And if they are illegal, we have to book the case for both illegal erection of the hoarding as well as the cutting of trees. So that is going on now. The inquiry is going on, and we will book the case for that.
Yes, Mr. Satyanarayan, we heard you say that yesterday one of our reporters tried to contact you. You gave us similar information. But the question is, now how many officers do you have on ground who check on the status of these trees?
Actually, the BBMP area is 825 per kilometer. For that, we have only 7 field officers and 2 assistant conservator of forestry. So we have to take care of both tree canopy management, the planting, the other functions, and so many activities are there in this BBMP forest. We have to take care of all those things with the existing only 9 staff. The staff is not enough.
Absolutely. I think you made a very key point, being the head of the forest cell who's in charge of Bangalore. I think you're highlighting a very important point. 7 people for the entire city of Bengaluru. How much do you think the manpower should be, the optimum number here, do you think?
Yeah. The thing is, it requires 1 chief conservator of forest, 2 deputy conservator of forest, and 2 assistant conservator of forest, and say about 8 zones are there, 8 range forest officers, and 2 deputy range forest officers. That means 8 plus 8, that's 16 deputy range forest officers. Minimum requirement for the development of the forest inside the Bangalore.
But have you made these appeals to the commissioner, to the mayor? Have you spoken to them at length about this?
Yeah, the proposal has already gone to government, but they received the officers from the department.
When has it gone, Mr. Satyanarayan? When have you?
About 6 months back, around 6 months back, it has already gone to the government. The proposal from the BBMP.
Now, also coming back to the point of what's happening in Old Airport Road, you did mention the shortage of manpower, but this is the main road. Every day people travel, even your officials, even if there's only 1 person allotted to that entire area, he has to travel through the main road. How can he not notice the branches being chopped?
This miscreant will be taking place during night time. Only during night they are doing this kind of nonsense activities, illegal activities.
Okay. Now, when did the residents inform you, Mr. Satyanarayan? How long was it?
Yesterday evening I received the information.
Well, we have a few of the residents here. Hemant, if you could tell us, when was the last complaint made to the ACF?
Yesterday evening.
We have one of the residents here, Mr. Satyanarayan, who wants to ask you a question. I'm going to ask him to speak to you now. Hemant, go ahead. When was the last time you gave a complaint?
Sir, last 2 days back I gave one complaint to BBMP and CC. I sent to Mr. Satyanarayan office.
No, I'm not getting your voice clearly. Hello?
Speak a little louder, Hemant. Now, he says 2 days back he had written a mail. He had written a mail to BBMP and he had also written to the forest cell. And he had also sent a letter.
Yesterday, personally he came over to me and we have discussed. As I had given words to him, today morning I will rush to the spot, and as I given words, I am in the spot.
Right, now that you're aware of this issue, you understand, Mr. Satyanarayana, that this is a big issue where probably the people who want better visibility for their advertisements are chopping down trees.
Yeah. That is going on inside the city because we are handicapped is only the shortfall of the staff. That itself is our problem. Yeah, I know that.
Now, what sort of action will be taken here, Mr. Satyanarayana?
So immediately we will file FIR and we are going to issue the notice on the basis of his response. We are going to file the charge sheet.
Right now, so what can we expect in terms of how fast can we expect action, and how can we ensure from now on?
The process will be initiated now, and let me know how many days.
Also here,
completion of the inquiry and for submission of the charge sheet.
Now it's really good that you've spoken to us. It's really good that you assured, while Bengaluru is watching this program, you assured that there will be severe action that will be taken against any of the offenders here. But what will you do to ensure it does not happen? You're already saying there is lack of manpower. That means tomorrow it could happen in Indiranagar, day after in Koramangala, and nobody will be there to actually prevent it. And only reason which is going to be coming to the fore is we will take action. So when will
direction we need your support, media support, for getting staff from department.
Right now, if without manpower, can you sustain? Can you ensure that this does not happen again?
Yeah, without manpower, it is not possible.
It is right. Thank you, Mr. Satyanarayana. We too hope that the BBMP is listening to this. BBMP is listening to what you said. That was the ACF going on to say the BBMP does not have enough number of people. Now, the bigger concern would be not just the ad mafia cutting down the trees. It would be a bigger problem. The monsoons here, the winds and the rains would bring down several trees. They remain overnight there. The traffic police and the residents are seen chopping the trees because there are not enough people in the forest cell. Now, are you satisfied with the response that the ACF has given at this point?
Not really.
The same answer we are getting from last year.
It is just the usual excuse they give and just procrastinate.
This is the excuse.
Sir, manpower is weak or law is weak?
And he also says he's right now there at the location. He's right now looking into the picture. So somewhere it's a positive out of this.
Yes,
that the ACF himself has come there and now he's looking into it. But as he said, he's helpless. He says if it happens tomorrow in Indiranagar, he cannot do anything about it because 7 people in Bengaluru.
But we are here, sir.
No, that's okay. See, in Jayanagar also one tree it has happened. They put a FIR and that not even single leaves over there chopped. We put a FIR. We made it sure 1 year we worked and the full tree has come now, with the help of the BB. I'm not saying, see, we have to clearly understand, we have to put these things in a constructive way. See, we have to get the manpower, we have to get the data, and we have to tell what is happening around and everything. We have to put that in a constructive way. So that is the only way to go through it. I know what is happening is happening. Nobody is scuttling it is not happening or something. So please, we have to put the constructive things and everything. Here on the first thing we have to do is we have to give the more manpower to the BBMP. For that one, what we have to do, that as a from NGO side, we will do it. What is we have to give us some memorandum to commissioner or something to increase the manpower and everything. And the second thing, we'll ask the one census has to be done. It has to be taken care. Otherwise, this will not going to work. And we'll keep pushing on this one. That is a 2 key point. We'll materialize. As you said, see, the Satyanarayana is there. Here on we have to keep following it actually at what is happening, and we will try to here on. So we'll make it sure. We will try from all over the Bangalore. You get whatever the Facebook or something. You get contact. We give all the locations where this kind of a discrepancy happening. We will make it sure. We will tag all these trees. We will keep vigilant and come together. We will make it sure this tree is not chopped. Initially we will do that one. Then we'll create a campaign in such a way, this hoardings, or who is the culprit, we'll get that one, we'll minimize it. Right. If we do that one, somewhere we'll get the solution, we'll take that 10%, 20%, we'll go and make it 100%. That is the only way. And you in open, in a live program, it is happening and everything, you can clearly make it out. Everybody is like becoming we know what is happening. But what to go to next level? That is everybody's question. Now,
Hemant wanted to say there that you all are working, even though there are only 7 people in the BBMP cell who are working across the city. There are several organizations like Save Green. And there are many environment-friendly organizations. But how much can they do? As you said, your complaints are also not taken up.
Yes.
Even though there is a provision for complaints to be taken up, you can't go and enforce a rule. Yes. You are not the execution. You can't execute a law or a rule. All that you can do is go and tell them. but it is the BBMP, it is the police department which can actually take cognizance of the matter and make sure that they prevent it, isn't it?
Sir, actually, according to me, they have power to arrest also, but they are not using their law. Okay, what I want, law in police station, if anyone see a tree going to cut, we should approach same time there only. Okay, but police not taking action. If they will allow to public hands, then tree we can save.
Right, Ashwini, you want to quickly make a point before we wrap the show here? You're happy with what the ACF had to say, and you're satisfied? You're not?
I'm not at all.
So where do you think this is going to go forward? How do you think this is going to go forward in the same way?
We don't have any solution from government also on BBMP also.
There's no solution at this point, you say, Mr. Prasanna?
Unless issues are taken to the logical end and practical action is taken, nothing will happen.
Right.
No lip service, please.
There should be a quick response from the police personnel or the BBMP personnel. There should be a quick response so that the people will get motivated to go and complain.
At least
there should be a response.
At least if the FIRs are filed, we will have a reference number like the crime number, which we can track any number of years down the line. Is the crime committed in 2016 so and so? What is the status of that maybe after a couple of years?
Absolutely, as Chaitanya earlier was mentioning about the issues and also spoke to the officials, hopefully you can again call us if you find Chaitanya will be there. Chaitanya, is that assurance there to the people that you will once again be there to ensure that while you face a similar situation in your area, if a tree is being chopped up, especially if it is not, if it's not for any sort of safety purpose and if it is because of visibility to the advertisers or any such issue, please do contact the BBMP cell, please do contact the police department. They are sure that they will be there. But the BBMP, if you're listening, your officers, your senior officers are going on to say that there is extreme lack of manpower. The monsoon is coming up. It is the need of the hour to expand the number of people. And of course, if the issues pertain, if the number of problems continue, you can contact us. We will be out there to ensure that the authorities listen to your problems. Thank you all of you all for joining us, and thank you all the viewers. You can of course write to us to our email IDs. You can call us on these numbers. You can also get in touch with us through our Facebook page. Well, with that, it's a wrap on this special show.